Hi, this is Anthea. I'm in Palm Springs with my dog Kit. We're listening to the Don and Brian show. They're always entertaining, and you never know what these guys are going to say next. We love it when Don says, "That reminds me of a story."
Cowabunga, dude!
All right, we're recording.
What? Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Well, it's actually nighttime as we're recording.
Almost
But-
11 o'clock there.
Yes, in beautiful Hollywood, Florida.
And I'm in
I'm standing
beautiful, I'm in Wichita, Kansas.
Yes, beautiful Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Wichita is much more beautiful than it was in, say, 1984 when we first met. Okay, do you remember where we met?
You know what I do, and I'll never forget it. It was 1984. I don't remember the month or day, but you do, and we'll get there. But it was at Pogo's in 1984 at 21st and Amadon.
Okay, tell us what Pogo's was.
Oh my goodness. Pogo's was the spot. I mean, it really was. They had what's called nickel pitcher night. Yeah, believe it or not. 5 cents for a pitcher of beer.
It was a disco. It was an under 21 disco. Because in Wichita at the time, you only had to be 18.
You only had to be 18 at that point in time. Right,
Yeah,
right.
And they only served a beer.
Right. At that point in time, you only had to be 18 to drink. So, I mean, my first time there, I was 16 years old. Me and several of my high school friends had fake IDs that we got on the internet. Actually, from the back of a comic
There was
book.
no internet. What are you talking about?
I meant it was the back of a comic book. It was a
you
back.
hooked up with Marty McFly.
Yeah, way back.
Okay.
Actually, it was from the back of a comic book.
Yeah.
It was from the back of a comic book, and me and 3 or 4 of my friends submitted our picture. All you have to do is send your high school picture to them, and they send you back this flimsy little cellophane or whatever the hell you want to call it ID, and we got in every time. So from age 16 to 8 until I hit 18, I was going to Pogo's, and at 18 I was legal. I could actually hand them my ID, woo, or driver's license. And what was cool, when I turned 21 in December 11th, the next month of January 1st, they changed the law. You had to be 21. So I've been drinking legal since I was 18, but illegally from 16 to 18. But no, Pogo's, I remember
You weren't illegal, you were undocumented.
Yeah, that too. But I remember you and your girlfriend Christy, me and my girlfriend Becky, were sitting at a table just
And they were best friends.
Yeah, and we hadn't even met yet, but we hit it off. I mean, like, what? Yeah.
I'll tell you what Christy told me before we went. She said, "You're gonna meet Becky's boyfriend, Brian." And I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but this is what she said to me. She said, "He kind of looks like a bird." So I'm going in there with this preconceived notion of what you're going to look like. But when I first saw you and you introduced yourself, shook my hand, and I said, "Ray Vulture, Scarecrow."
I could while away the hours. Yeah. But I don't know. I know our conversation just absolutely clicked, and I absolutely ignored Becky. I believe you did the same with Christy because we connected.
Well,
but we had a great time. It was amazing.
Because we were both animated and smart, and just we conversed about anything, and you were very funny, and I don't remember dancing much on the dance floor that night. I think most times
I don't think we did.
Talking.
Yeah.
And watching Christy and Becky make out in the corner.
You know what's funny though? When you look a few years down the road from that, we actually had each of us had our own pagers. You remember that?
Yes,
we lived on. You lived on
around
Ridge.
87 or so.
Yeah, you lived on Ridge Road, as did I, and by God, my apartment complex had a swimming pool, and you were featured on one of the advertisements, sitting by the pool. Your photograph, and you didn't even live there. But you didn't live there.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
And you were working at a TV and appliance store, or TV and stereo store, and during the day I would go over to your apartment complex and use the pool, because I worked nights working for my mother at her janitorial company. So during the day I would go over and hang out at the pool.
Right.
Well, I was there so much that the management thought I lived there. So they came out to take some pictures for Apartment Guide magazine, and I'm out there with your neighbor across the hall, Kristen, and some random female. So this woman comes out and says, "Can you all get a little closer?" And she goes up on the balcony on the second floor of the clubhouse and shoots this picture. And it was in Apartment Guide magazine for, I think it was May 87. Yes, I do have a memory.
Well, not only that, but I have a copy of it still. So
yes, I still do. I don't know if I have the copy of the magazine, but I do have the picture somewhere.
Well, I have a picture.
And I'll find it and post it on the Don and Brian Show website.
I mean, it was
anyway.
It was very funny to see that, because I'm like, he don't even freaking live here.
Yeah. But if you look at, when you see the picture, folks.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here's
we'll post
the pool.
We'll post that.
Here's this woman floating in the pool.
And one sitting.
And she's very, very pale. There's this slightly brown girl sitting there. And then there's this dark blob.
Yeah, that would be Dawn. That would be Dawn. But anyway, let's get back to that.
I can tan, yes.
Yeah, let's get back to the pager portion.
Yes. This
Dawn,
years later, after we were both married, and our wives were very possessive.
Why can't they just love us for our minds?
Oh my God.
To the point of Claymore mines and barbed wire to keep us from leaving the house.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is, they didn't like us going out together.
They thought we were cheating.
Right. But here's the ironic part of it. Whenever we went out, we never picked up any women. We never cheated. All we did was have a good time, or sometimes less than good times, and go back home to our wives. It was when we went out separately that we cheated on our wives.
Hush, that never happened.
No, that never happened, right?
Never happened. But anyhow, referring back to our pagers.
Oh, the pagers, yes.
We actually,
we couldn't call each other because the wives would intercept the phone calls or whatever. So we had alphanumeric pagers, and we would no, they weren't even alphanumeric. They were just numeric. So we set up a bunch of number codes for like 7734 meant meet me at the corner of such and such.
And we both had motorcycles at this time too.
Yes. So, or if we could sneak out of the house on foot, we would meet up. And then we'd go someplace, we'd have a few drinks, we'd listen to some music, we'd flirt, but then we'd always go home at 2:30 in the morning to our wives.
Who were sitting up on the couch waiting for us.
With Claymore mines and the barbed wire.
Yeah. And AK-47. Oh, my Lord. I'll never forget those days. Never forget those days.
You had to mention firearms.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
this story. I met my first wife in late December 1963.
Late December back in 63.
I was working as a clerk at Universal Quick Mart, which was a convenience store gas station on West Kellogg, almost to Tyler. And she came in to get gas, and I thought she was kind of cute. So she paid by check, which is rare. And I took her number off the check because I was going to try to call her. Guess what?
You didn't try, you did.
Later, nope. Well, about 20 minutes later, she calls the store and asks me out.
And
said, "Would you like to have dinner?"
Wow.
And I said, "Well, I don't have a car right now." And she said, "Well, I'll come pick you up." So we made a date, and she she picked me up from work one afternoon on a Saturday. Went back to her parents' house, had dinner. I met the parents, and then she and her mother took me home all the way from Goddard, Kansas.
Was that the first time? Was that the first time? Was that the first time you ever rode in a rickshaw?
Yeah, that was all hands right. Especially in late December, early
Boy,
January.
her mom was sweating her ass off.
Yeah. Anyway, so they take me home. I was staying at my mother's at the time, and apparently, Christy and her mother, Deanna, had a conversation on the way back home to Goddard. That's the man I'm going to marry. And Deanna said, I like him. So a couple weeks later, when my car got out of the shop, I was able to take her out on a proper. Anyway, on that proper date was at Pogo's on February 2nd, 1984, where I met you.
You know what? I mean, looking back is amazing because just to the east of Pogo's was Twin Lakes Country Club and a beautiful lake and all this stuff. It doesn't exist anymore. As a matter of fact, where Pogo's is now is there's an there's a Radio Shack and there's a mattress
the
firm.
Radio Shack's long gone because they're out of business. So
well,
it's been I haven't been there for almost 2 years, so who knows what's up there now.
Well, I was there in August, and there was a Radio Shack and a mattress facility, like a mattress firm or something like that. And
yeah, that was on the other end, right?
Well, it's on the south end of the facility, right where Pogo's was, right where it is, or was.
Right.
But those were amazing times because, it wasn't about smartphones.
An urban legend, and I've never confirmed this, but I think you told me this, and we need to do some research. Apparently, Van Halen, in their very, very early days, did a live show at Pogo's. It was a good-sized club.
My brother was there.
Okay.
My brother was there, and it wasn't nickel pitcher night. It was, I think, $1 pitcher night, but it was $5 admission. And it was Van Halen, and I remember my brother telling me that it was so loud he had to cover his ears through every set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would have been something to see. That's like seeing the Beatles at the Cavern Club.
Oh, my.
Back in the early days. Because they're playing in a venue in Wichita, Kansas. These guys are from California, and they're playing this relatively small. It wasn't an arena. Or anything like that.
No,
it was
not even close.
It was just a disco bar.
Well, a lot of our listeners, especially my Goddard friends, are absolutely familiar with Pogo's, as I'm sure a lot of yours are as well.
A lot of my Southeast High School people remember Pogo's.
But Pogo's was not designed for live music. It was designed for dance. And when they brought in the stage, according to my brother, it was all these frickin' speakers. Had very little room for the band. Very little room. Well, that's one thing that Van Halen was known for, is just rocking it out. So this had to be, gosh, I don't even know what year. He graduated in 76, 77, 78, 79.
78, something like that. Yeah. Because I didn't start going there until about 81.
Right, 82. Right. This is absolutely pre-us going there. Not Prius the car, but pre-us going there.
Pre you and me.
Yeah. But I remember my brother telling me, who's 6 years older than me, that I had to cover my ears when I walked out because they were still buzzing. But can you imagine seeing Van Halen in such a small area?
Well, again, unless you knew the future, you didn't know that. You thought, this is some band coming into town and playing. But
wow,
I would love to see the playlist.
Well, good luck getting a ticket for $5 to see Van Halen today.
Well, at Pogo's maybe.
Yeah.
If we get the Wayback Machine.
But you know what? When I was living in Abilene, Texas, Arlington, Texas, rather, I worked at the American Airlines Center, which is where the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Stars ice hockey team play, and extreme concerts. And Van Halen was one of them. And I worked at a place, one of those facilities. And I took my work shirt off because I always kept another regular shirt underneath because you're not allowed as an employee at a concession. I was the manager of the Grill Zone. And I took my Grill Zone shirt off when Van Halen started. I went and sat in the stands, and booyah! The best concert I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely amazing. But even what tops that is I did the same thing. I took my Grill Zone shirt off when the Dallas Mavericks played the Lakers. And I walked all the way down to the mid-court, 7th row, and sat and watched the entire game and got to watch Kobe Bryant. I'm in $400 or $500 seats.
Was Dirk playing then for
Dirk Nowitzki? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah. But Kobe Bryant made it look so easy. It was like watching an opera and a ballet. And I know that sounds kind of corny, but no, that's what it was. He was so fluid, so smooth, and to be able to witness that,
natural athlete from
amazing.
Probably birth. He's probably born with a basketball.
I think he was born out of a basketball because dude, I've never seen.
Hang on, we have a special guest.
It's the Craig and Milo Show.
Recording right now.
What's going on, Craig? Yeah.
What's going on, Craig?
I want to be a guest star.
Well,
you already are a guest.
You are. You'll be on the next podcast.
Okay.
Well, we're recording it right now.
Welcome to Hollywood, Florida.
Thank you. I've been here for almost 2 years.
Mostly nice people, almost all the time.
Yeah. And Milo is the most awesome dog. Imagine the dog from the movie Mask.
But
The Mask.
Oh my God.
He's looking at me with this, like, excuse me, I'm much more attractive than that dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually expecting a call from Michelle.
Oh, awesome.
This is one of Don's neighbors. It's Milo and Craig. Milo is Craig's dog, and we love him. We get to speak with them quite
We're
often.
going to set them up. They're going to be regular guests here. This was an unexpected running into the
Pleasant surprise.
What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. What time is it, baby?
It's 11:10 your time.
11:10 my time, and I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I'm running on adrenaline. But no, Craig and Milo are awesome. Craig's a great guy. He's the one that recommended me to move into this building that I live in. He was one of my customers before that at Walgreens. So, anyway, back to you and me, because this is all about you and me.
Yeah.
It's the Don and Brian show.
Yeah.
Not the Craig and Milo show.
Well, we was talking about pogos, but I think we can jump out of
I
that.
think we got off track.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're done with pogos. But after
After that night, we still hooked up. And as a matter of fact, I was living at an apartment complex called Westlake Village.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
This
I
is
remember.
only for Wichita people. Nobody else is going to know. But Westlake Village on Tyler, just south of Central. And Brian, at that time, was living at his parents' house. He got an apartment. Yeah. Just a few buildings away from me. So now we're hanging out all the time. And much to the chagrin of our respective girlfriends, we're hanging out all the time.
Yeah.
And we even tried to go in on a business deal at that time with another friend of mine.
Yeah, to purchase that club. Yeah.
We were going to
the Emerald
take
Lounge.
over a bar, the Emerald Lounge.
Yep.
On West Central at 235.
Right at 235.
Again, this is all for Wichita people. Nobody else in the world is going to know what this means. But we got to the point where we had a business plan together. We went to a bank to get some money.
Well, we saw their financials. The owners of the club.
And they wanted $15,000 for fixtures, stock. We'd be renting from. It was going to be a lease with whoever owned that building.
I didn't
we
like
went
the
to-
lease idea. I didn't like that.
Yeah, when we went to the meeting with the bank, the owner of the bar didn't show, so the deal fell through. So, which in the end, it's probably the best thing that could have happened.
But anyhow, yeah,
Anyway.
it was an adventure, and I was excited that we were all excited to really kind of step out of a comfort zone to try to create something new for us.
Tom, you were working for your dad at his stockbroking office.
Right.
I was a warehouse manager for a waterbed store,
Right.
and Ted was a convenience store manager. So this was going to be a whole new operation, chance for us to do something together. And we were like the three amigos. We hung out a lot. We had motorcycles. We rode together. Of course, he had an 800 Yamaha. You had a 700 Maxim. And I had a 125 Kawasaki.
I had a Maxim X.
Yeah, 700 Maxim X. And I had this little two-stroke 125 that I had traded you a waterbed for.
Yeah, I remember that. Those were good times, you know. Back in those days, life was so much easier.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it seemed simpler, and it was, because there was less stress. We had not gotten into the internet age, and you know, kids today, or people today, if their cell phone stops working, oh my God.
Panic.
Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Back in those days, cell phone. What's a cell phone? Hell, what was a pager back then?
You must have a lot of money if you got a cell phone. And you got to carry this 6-pound box around with you.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't exactly portable.
How convenient.
I do remember a guy that I can't remember his name offhand, which is very rare for me, but we both knew him. He worked construction. And he had a radio phone, which is what they called cell phones back in those days. So he had this installed in his truck, and then he had this 6-pound brick that he would carry personally with him wherever he went. So there would be a call in his truck, and his horn would honk,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would answer the brick.
Yeah, crazy.
It was his boss calling him.
Technology is... And you know what, Don? We are not even at the beginning of it. I mean, we're probably I mean, it's going to go so much further to where implants here, implants there, virtual reality, and all this.
We're not aware of it.
Yeah.
Because we're just little people.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I mean,
there's probably a Jean-Claude Damme and Dolph Lundgren wandering around out there in Iraq.
Oh my God.
With all the augmentation.
We was talking about how we met, and we've established that at Pogo's. But we have so many stories, Don, don't we? So many stories to share with you guys. The experiences we've had, good, bad, ugly, amazing, funny, and absolutely freaking ridiculous.
But all true.
All true. 100%.
You can't make this stuff up.
So I'm gonna throw out this disclaimer right now. After this episode, when Don and I start talking about our true to life stories, it's gonna be unedited, okay? And there may be some language that's gonna offend you. Sorry, change the channel. But it's gonna be all true to life. Don, do you agree?
Everything is as true as we remember it.
Exactly.
There's a disclaimer for you.
Yeah. So, being that we're not regulated by the FCC, well, I don't
Well,
fucking
we
know.
do have some younger audience members.
Anyway, we're at 25 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this, Donnie. What do you think?
I think that is good for an episode right there. We got a lot of stuff covered in there.
Alrighty then. Well, hey, first of all, I want to say thank you once again for following, listening, liking our page. You mean the world to us. Don and I both love all of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be friends on our Facebook page.
Well, I was just going to add that the response to the first episode was awesome, well above our expectations. If you're listening to this now, whether you're heard the first episode or this is your first time, if you've not heard the first episode, go back and listen to it. If you have, stick with us. Number 3 is going to be awesome, as well as number 400 down the road.
Yep, totally agree.
Because we have a plethora of stories.
Oh, my. But anyhow...
You know what plethora means?
Oh, yeah. A shitload.
That's a pretty good description. That's a pretty good definition.
Yeah.
I think that, did you get that from Merriam-Webster?
Oh, my God. We both love all our Facebook friends. Thank you all for tuning in and watching, following, listening, and all that. Please comment, like, and share, and we'll continue to do what we do.
I definitely want to hear what we've done right and what we've done wrong.
And what you want to hear.
And we'll take all that into account. As far as the going wrong, I mean, how can you go wrong when it's our story?
Yeah. Anyhow, once again, please email us with your comments, questions, criticism, MIDI, WAV, MP3, MP4, MP, I don't give a fuss. Pictures, I don't care.
If you want to be on the Facebook page.
You want to be on there?
Hey.
Send us a picture.
Yep.
I don't care how naked you are. You can be naked all the way. It's at...
That was my next line.
Swing.
You will, yeah.
Yeah, it's email at thedonandbrianshow.com. And we look forward to hearing from you, talking to you, because I guarantee you, it's going to get just better and better and better. Don?
Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, good night. See you in episode 3.
This has been another episode of The Don and Brian Show. Copyright 2017, The Don and Brian Show. Please check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Don and Brian Show for the time and date of the next episode. Email us at email@thedonandbrianshow.com. Twitter @Don and Brian Show. And once again, thank you for listening.